Meeting for Tuesday, July 18th is now called to order. Andrea, would you please call the roll?
Good afternoon, everyone. It is 5:21 p.m. As a reminder to all in attendance, this meeting is being recorded and live streamed on the county's YouTube page. Calling the roll, Mr. Miller.
Here.
Mr. Sweeney.
Present.
Mr. Tuma.
Here.
Mr. Gallagher.
Here.
Mr. Schran.
Here.
Ms. Conwell.
Present.
Ms. Turner's absent. Ms. Stevens. Present. Ms. Simon.
Here.
Mr. Kelly.
Here.
Council President Jones.
Here.
You have a quorum.
Thank you. We'll entertain a motion to excuse Councilmember Meredith Turner from
So
today's
moved.
meeting.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. At this time, let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. At this time, Andrea, has anyone signed in for public comment?
Yes. First public comment is Camilo Villa.
Good evening, President Jones, Vice President Stevens, and members of council. Thank you for your time. I'm actually not here to talk about what I think.
If you could state your name for the record.
Oh, I
please, sir.
apologize. My name is Camilo Villa. I'm with Service Employees International Union Local 1. I'm not here to discuss what I think most other folks here are here to discuss, but it's an issue that's very near and dear to my union's heart. So, we're very concerned about it. But as I said, I'm the Northern Ohio Coordinator for Service Employees International Union Local 1, SEIU. We're the union of property service workers across the Midwest. We represent hundreds of janitors and other property service workers here in Cleveland, and I'm here to share two important updates about our work that relate specifically to Cuyahoga County and the building in which this meeting is taking place. First, I'd like to introduce three of our members, Nicole, Florence, and Ruth, who you may recognize from her work here as cleaners at the county building. In exactly 2 weeks, she and her coworkers will begin their training through SEIU's Green Janitor Education Program, which trains SEIU janitors on green cleaning techniques and best practices for building decarbonization. This program has been highly successful everywhere it has been implemented across the country, from LA to Denver, Minneapolis, and Chicago, with many immediate benefits for downtown buildings, including reduction of energy use in a building by an average of 5.6%, which becomes very significant when scaled in the market. We're very proud to be bringing this program to Cleveland, the first of its kind in Ohio, and to have partnered closely with the County Executive Chris Ronayne and the Sustainability Director Mike Foley to have county headquarters be the first demonstration of this excellent program. As we are experiencing record-setting daily temperatures and severe air quality problems, accelerating climate change is a problem for everyone, irrespective of where we live, and it will take all of our efforts to mitigate it. SEIU is excited that fighting climate change is now a solid part of the union difference, and we are grateful that county leadership also considers it a priority and supports our mission to implement this in a commercial real estate across the city and eventually the entire state. I would also like to make you aware of another ongoing issue here at the county building. Unfortunately, this is not one to celebrate. Security officers in downtown Cleveland are coming together to form their union with SEIU Local 1 and have been working tirelessly to win a voice on the job for over a year. Most of downtown Cleveland is secured by responsible security contractors who respect their employees' rights to organize. However, a handful of buildings that are secured by irresponsible outliers who do not believe their employers have the right to unionize are willing to brazenly violate the law to stop the unionization process. The county building where we are meeting is one of those outliers secured by an irresponsible contractor by the name of Pal American Security. Pal American has not only refused to meet their employees at the table and respect their rights to organize, they have also taken the further step of blatantly violating federal labor law in attempts to intimidate and dissuade their employees from unionizing. The officers are standing strong together in the face of this intimidation, but need the support of county government. I'm pleased to let council know that County Executive Ronayne has been vocally supportive of the officers in this building unionizing. However, the problem has been with the county's landlord, Geist Companies, who has a spotty at best record when it comes to respecting union workers. Geist has benefited greatly from its relationship with the county, but is allowing Pal American to flagrantly violate their workers' rights and is furthermore standing in the way of hundreds of workers unionizing across the city to improve standards in the security industry and move toward jobs that provide a living wage for hardworking residents of Cuyahoga County. These workers work downtown but then return to neighborhoods which have been neglected and underserved for decades, and because of this have taken it upon themselves to fight to improve our communities both downtown and in the neighborhoods where they live. We are calling on County Council to join us in letting Al Christ and Geist Companies know that using Cuyahoga County tax dollars to reward illegal union busting is unacceptable. I'm happy to provide any additional information that Council may need on this subject. As you can see, I have my two small children here with me today. I'm not sure if they will last the meeting, but my contact information is on the sign-in sheet if anyone would like to follow up with us on this subject. Thank you.
Thank you.
Lou?
Good evening.
Good evening.
Now, today we have a different kinds of topics, which actually reflects the diversity of our county populations. So do we want to favor one group but not take care of others? However, we all have something in common, this county jail and the homelessness. So if the county cannot really change the culture of the whole county to invest on people, we will never resolve our issue with the workforce and our local economy. I mean, talking about the local as our county's economy. If we leave the people stay in the wrong kind of building to endanger their safety, their health, destroy their mental health, all at the same time, how many people we will actually left to love this county, to really contribute to county? In that case, that would just encourage other people to keep proposing lots of projects to only attract the outsiders. When you attract outsiders, if they have means to come in, they have the means to get out. They will not really stay here to build a community. Existing populations who were born and raised here still loves the home the best. We do need to change the condition of the buildings, but not by compromising everybody's true potential to thrive with the politics playing by other people. Not having bail reform, not actually cash what they are promised when they ran the campaign. So please understand, we all have voices here, but please choose wisely. I'm glad you guys asked good questions in the previous meeting today, but please make a wise decision. Do not really fall into the trap which has happening and suppress all the people for decades. Please do not fall back in that trap. Health, human services, workforce issue, these should go first. Thank you.
Thomas Rizzard?
Good evening. My name is Thomas Ritzert. I'm an attorney at Thompson Hine LLP. I'm here on behalf of the hollow petitioners who submitted the Berea annexation petition, which I believe is going to be the first resolution considered by council tonight. I wanted to raise a couple of issues with the proposed resolution denying the annexation petition. My understanding of the resolution as drafted is that the county is contemplating denying the annexation petition for two reasons. First, that the city of Berea has not agreed to provide services to the annexed property. And second, that the city of Berea would not agree to provide services or maintenance to any roadway. I'd just like to mention that under the Ohio Revised Code for the Type 2 of annexation that is being considered by the council tonight, the council is to approve the annexation petition unless there are one of 7 basic specific statutory items that it finds are not met. The first is that the city would have failed to pass an ordinance specifying which services will be provided. Now, in this case, the city of Berea did in fact pass an ordinance concerning services, and it stated it would provide no service. That, in and of itself, satisfies the revised code requirement that the city issue a statement on what services will be provided. I'd like to mention that this specific issue about the fact that the city has decided not to provide services not being a basis to deny an annexation petition was actually considered in 2020 by the 11th District Court of Appeals in Ohio. And they found in that case that a statement by a city that it will not provide services is sufficient under the statute to meet what the city is required to provide. The second item that I understand is the basis for the resolution is drafted is the roadway maintenance issue. I'd just like to point out that the revised code section on this point provides that if a street or highway will be divided or segmented by a boundary line as to create a road maintenance problem, then the municipal corporation that will be annexing the property has decided not to provide maintenance for that. And in this case, there has been no finding that any road maintenance issue would occur. The city of Berea just simply said it would not provide any maintenance for a roadway if any issues arose. So our review of the statute would suggest that neither of the bases that are identified in the resolution set for hearing tonight satisfy the requirements for denying the petition. And we would request that at minimum, the resolution not be approved as drafted tonight, and also that it would be amended to approve the petition. Thank you.
That concludes the public comment portion for today's meeting.
All right. At this time, I'll entertain a motion to approve our minutes as presented on the agenda.
Second, Sweeney.
Okay. I'll make the motion and the second by Sweeney. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. At this time, do we have messages from our county executive, from our chief of staff?
Interim Chief of Staff, Council
Interim,
President Jones,
all right.
as has been pointed out to me by Chief of Staff Nani often. No messages tonight, Council President Jones.
Okay.
Just a pretty face tonight. Thank you very much.
All right. Wow. All right. Legislation introduced by council. Consideration of a resolution of council for first reading, adoption under suspension of rules. Can I have a motion to suspend the rules?
Mr. President, I move to suspend the rules.
Second.
Been properly moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Rules are suspended.
Resolution 2023-0203, denying the expedited Type 2 annexation petition of Joseph P. Hollow and Suzanne C. Hollow to annex territory to the city of Berea, Ohio, from Olmsted Township, Ohio. Determining that one or more conditions under Ohio Revised Code Section 729.023E have not been met.
Move to adopt.
Properly moved and seconded.
Can we clarify? I can't hear.
Properly moved by Councilman Gallagher, seconded by Councilwoman Yvonne Conley.
Thank you.
Mr. King.
Thank you, Council President. The resolution before you today relates to a petition filed with our Clerk of Council back in June in support of the annexation of approximately 72 acres in Olmsted Township into the city of Berea. As I think you just heard, the Ohio Revised Code establishes the procedures for this type of annexation petition, which requires the county to take action within 45 days, which is why this item is before you today under first reading adoption. The state statute specifies the county must deny the petition unless it meets the 7 specific criteria specified in the statute, one of which is that, quote, the municipal corporation to which the annexation is proposed has agreed to provide services to the proposed territory via ordinance. In this instance, the city of Berea adopted an ordinance on June 26th, both refusing to provide services and urging this council to deny the petition. Therefore, it is the opinion of our law director that the criteria has not been met and that the county is required to deny the petition. Before considering adoption, I'd ask council to consider moving an amendment to the resolution to correct a typo we identified after this item was placed on the agenda, specifically to correct all references of the Ohio Revised Code section 729.023 to read ORC section 709.023, which is the correct statutory provision. I'm happy to take any questions on the annexation process or the amendment. And yes, go ahead.
First, you'd like us to make an amendment
Yes.
to that. So moved as you have laid it out.
Second.
Properly moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Okay.
So I'm happy to take any questions, as well as the law director is prepared to speak on this, and Director Serby from our Planning Commission. This is more of a procedural thing than a substantive one, but is also in attendance if there are questions about the proposed development.
Well, we've heard from Thompson and Hines in our public comment. A very unique take, I assume, that no service counts as a declaration of service. How does King and Manilow respond?
Mr. President, I would respond that we ought to take that under advisement and come back on August 1. That would be my recommendation, Mr. King. Given the case law that has been cited, we ought to take that seriously and take a hard look and have some discussions about that. That would be my recommendation.
So what we're saying is we should hold this item?
I am.
Mr. President, can we find out why the city of Berea said they could not provide services?
Do we have any answers to that?
We can share with you the copy of the Berea ordinance that was passed on June 26th. I don't know that it was a matter that they couldn't provide services. It was a decision by the Berea City Council that they would not provide services.
Oh, okay.
They do not agree to provide services, is the way that they worded it, yes.
Okay.
Mr. President,
Councilman?
do we then fall outside the 45 days?
We would fall outside of that 45 days. The remedy, as I understand that, is a mandamus remedy to force us to act within that 30 to 45 day period of time. Thompson Hine itself is requesting that we not move forward today. Yes, we would fall outside of that 45-day window, yes.
Just so I'm clear, if we were to consider this again on our August 1st council meeting, we would not be able to do that within the 45-day window?
That is correct. We would not.
Mr. President?
Yeah.
In the event we would proceed and to the dismay of Thompson and Hine, wouldn't they have a remedy in court to address?
The statute actually specifies that the decision by the county is not appealable. So the answer, I think, is no, though
Right.
I would defer to our law
Right.
director.
Okay.
So why would we hold this then?
We would hold it to take under advisement the case law that has been cited here at this hearing to determine whether essentially agreeing to provide no services is sufficient under the statute.
That's why everybody hates lawyers. No, Mr. It's this is last minute. Is
Yes.
this, could I have the lawyer back up here? Sir? Yes.
And state your name again, please.
Thomas Ritzert of Thompson Hine LLP.
My concern is this, is we have a city that's rejected this, a township that's not happy with it. And these are two separate entities that maybe don't always see eye to eye, but they're focused on this. Where was this case law and where was it from and when did you discover this?
Well, the case law is from 2020. It's from the 11th District Court of Appeals in Ashtabula County.
Okay.
And the defect with the basis for denying the petition, that was raised in the City Council of Berea meeting. And we pointed out to the City Council of Berea that what they were doing by passing a resolution saying they would not provide any services, in fact, satisfied the Ohio Revised Code standards and would not be a basis for the Cuyahoga County council to deny the petition. We made that very clear during the Berea City Council presentation, that what they were doing satisfied what they had to do and send to the county. So I would like to just make a couple brief points. First, certainly from our perspective, we understand the deadline would run July 31st. We're talking about having a hearing or reconsideration of this issue on August 1st. I feel confident that my clients would have no problem at all with the city council suspending the resolution for tonight and considering it again on August 1st. And I would be more than happy to have any conversation with Mr. Maniloff or the law department to go over these issues.
We don't come back till September,
I thought it was August 1st.
or August, I'm sorry.
That's right.
What date did you give me?
So the deadline is July 31st.
Right.
We're talking about one day, basically.
Okay.
The deadline is July 31st. I understand you guys, the council, excuse me, would be able to hear this again on August 1st. Our clients would not raise an issue with that one day.
You would not sue council, correct?
For the one day delay, no, we would not.
Thank you.
Yes.
On that point, representation on behalf of your client.
Yes. Yes, we would
I
be
wanna hear.
perfectly fine with that. And that's in fact what we would suggest the council do. We would love to have this suspended and considered again on August 1st. And in the meantime, our firm would have discussions with the county law department to clarify these issues.
Mr. President, I'm not a lawyer, but I'm just trying to make sure that it's rock solid. You given permission, say you won't do anything, but is it Ohio Revised Codes that says it has to be acted within this very specific, and this could be a 1-2 on us now, because we're going to have to come in for a special hearing to be able to have this done on the 31st, because it's a rock solid Ohio Revised Code, and you giving us the blessing of, oh, we're all cool. Oh my God, we missed it by a day and you got your way, which is not what I want to go through. I'll be more than happy to come down tomorrow, the next day, if our law department comes up with a thing. But I'd really like to see if he can figure this out in the next 15 minutes to an hour and a half, because we're going to be here. And I'm not dabbling in your district, but I just want to be very, very specific. Thank you for the opportunity to chat, Mr. President.
Mr. President, what did the law director of Berea say when you brought this to their,
I'm sorry?
what did the law director in Berea say when you brought this to their attention?
So the law director did not comment. They had a special counsel from Retzel and Andrus. I believe his name was Stephen Hunt, who was there, and he did not address that point.
Mr. President?
Yes.
Actually, I was going to say the same thing that Councilman Sweeney suggested, so that we table this until at least the end of this meeting and have give our law director a chance to look at the case law. I'm not sure it's determinative, and certainly if it's an automatic deadline, Councilman Sweeney's right. You know, we don't have anything in writing to waive that, and I don't even know if it's waivable to counteract ORC. So I'm uncomfortable with this, and to wait until now to present this. Why didn't you come before right now, Counselor, and give this case to our law director before this meeting? You're putting us in a precarious position. You had this case the whole time.
Well,
Since the Berea acted, when did Berea act on this?
It was on June 26th.
June 26th, okay.
And I would just say that my office has tried to get a phone call with the law director's office, and we have not been able to, and that this.
When was that? When did that occur? Yesterday afternoon, I think?
That's correct.
Yesterday afternoon. Thank you.
Come
Yes.
on.
This guy's funny, man.
And this is the first reading of the resolution. So, but I would say that this issue was raised before Berea.
I understand, but you're before county council now.
I understand that. And we were not aware of how the county council was going to rule on this, proposed ruling on this petition until the end of last week when the agenda was set.
Mr. President, it just seems like a technicality on this case law, and so I'm going to
So we have
take a look at it.
Right. Well, if there's something that can be worked out in the next few, we're going to be here for a minute. So if it can be worked out, let's do that. But if not, we do have July 24th, our next meeting, where we could actually have a 5-minute special meeting to deal with it if we need additional days. So we have remedy to address this before the July 31st deadline. Okay. All
And
right.
I'd say we would be happy to come back anytime.
Do you have the case law right now? I'm happy to review it right now. Do you have it?
We have
All right.
15 copies of it.
Okay, then give it to me. Thank you.
Me too.
So at this time, we'll table the item until the end of the meeting.
We'll table the item and move forward. Consideration of a resolution of council for first reading and referral to committee.
Resolution 2023-0204, awarding a total sum not to exceed $25,000 to the Neighborhood Pets Outreach and Resource Center for pet care support for homebound seniors from the District 8 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
This item will be referred to the Education, Environment, and Sustainability Committee. Committee reports in consideration of resolutions of council for second reading.
Resolution 2023-0166, awarding a total sum not to exceed $106,000 to Merrick House for the Youth Development and Leadership Program from the District 7 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
This item will move to the August 1st council agenda for consideration for third reading adoption.
Resolution 2023-0167, awarding a total sum not to exceed $49,000 to Merrick House for capital improvements to the Merrick House Community Center from the District 7 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
This item will move to the August 1st council agenda for consideration for third reading adoption.
Resolution 2023-0169, awarding a total sum not to exceed $75,000 to the Catholic Charities Job and Career Training Center for the Workforce Development Career Pathways Project from the District 7 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
This item will move to the August 1st council agenda for consideration for third reading adoption.
Resolution 2023-0173, awarding a total sum not to exceed $25,000 to the Olivet Housing and Community Development Corporation for the Initiative and Workforce Development Training and Education from the District 7 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
This item will move to the August 1st council agenda for consideration for third reading adoption.
Resolution 2023-0185, awarding a total sum not to exceed $9,998 to the City of Fairview Park for the Fairview Park Police Patrol Bicycle Project from the District 1 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
This item will move to the August 1st council agenda for consideration for third reading adoption.
Resolution 2023-0186, awarding a total sum not to exceed $225,000 to Baldwin Wallace University for the Year 2 of the Northeast Ohio Flight Information Exchange Program from the District 2 ARPA Community Grant Fund and the Department of Development's General Fund budget.
This item will also move to the August 1st council agenda for consideration for third reading adoption.
Resolution 2023-0187, awarding a total sum not to exceed $250,000 to the Old Brooklyn Community Development Corporation for the purpose of Memphis and Pearl Redevelopment Project from the District 3 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
This item will move to the August 1st council agenda for consideration for third reading adoption.
Resolution 2023-0188, awarding a total sum not to exceed $10,000 to Enlightened Solutions for Project Noir from the District 9 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
This item will move to the August 1st council agenda for consideration for third reading adoption.
Resolution 2023-0189, awarding a total sum not to exceed $10,000 to the Denikin Foundation for the Comics at the Corner Literacy Lounge from the District 9 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
All right, well, we have a proposed substitute for this resolution, and we will entertain a motion. I'll make a motion to accept the proposed substitute.
And
Is
I
there a
will second the motion.
Properly moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. The proposed substitute is accepted.
Council President.
This time.
Good afternoon, Trevor McClure, County Council staff. As the Council President has mentioned, you have a proposed substitute in front of you. What the proposed substitute does is increases the award to $30,000, so it provides additional $20,000 from the Districts 8, 10, and 11 ARPA dollars. This will allow the vendor to provide additional comics to more children. Currently, they give out 2 comic books per child, and this will be able to allow them to serve additional children. 10,000 of that 20,000 is coming from District 8, and 5,000 apiece from District 10 and 11.
Right. This item will move to the August 1st council agenda for consideration for third reading adoption.
Resolution 2023-0190, awarding a total sum not to exceed $10,000 to Birthing Beautiful Communities for the Birth Center Facility Project from the District 9 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
This item will also move to the August 1st council agenda for consideration for third reading adoption.
Resolution 2023-0191, awarding a total sum not to exceed $100,000 to the McGregor Foundation for the McGregor Independent Living Project from the District 10 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
This item will also move to the August 1st council agenda for consideration for third reading adoption.
And at this time, Council President Jones has asked to be a sponsor on this item. Resolution 2023-0192, awarding a total sum not to exceed $23,000 to Share Homes, Inc. for the Safety Mental Health Tracker from the District 11 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
This item will move to the August 1st council agenda for consideration for third reading adoption. Committee reports and consideration of resolutions of council for second reading adoption under suspension of rules. Can I have a motion to suspend the rules?
Mr. President, I move to suspend the rules.
Second.
Properly moved and seconded. All in favor of suspending the rules, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. The rules are suspended.
Resolution 2023-0143, adopting various changes to the Cuyahoga County Non-Bargaining Classification Plan.
Move to adopt. Is
Second.
there any discussion? Not all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Resolution 2023-0193, again adopting various changes to the Cuyahoga County Non-Bargaining Classification Plan.
Move to adopt.
All right, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Consideration of resolutions of council for third reading adoption.
Resolution 2023-0164, awarding a total sum not to exceed $200,000 to Case Western Reserve University for the Wade Park Community Engagement Center project from the District 7 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Right. Council President and committee members, I ask that you support this. Was in community development. I don't know if the chair would have anything to say. It is within my district framework. Case Western Reserve University has an old historic home, and they're willing to, that are across from residents that have lived there for years, and they are willing to put in capital to turn that historic home into a community engagement center, not only for the families that are in that community, but others as well. So I ask for your support.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Resolution 2023-0165, awarding a total sum not to exceed $150,000 to the West Side Catholic Center for the Resource Center and Housing Initiative from the District 7 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
Move to adopt.
Second, Simon.
All right, thank you. Committee supports housing initiative for homeless families. This ARPA dollars will allow 4 homes to be purchased as a step down from the shelter of Westside Catholic Center to also families to move into their own homes. I do not remember, quite frankly, if it's a transitional period, which I do believe it is. So I ask my committee, council to support.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Resolution 2023-0168, awarding a total sum not to exceed $100,000 to the Near Westside Multi-Service Corporation doing business as May Dugan Center for the purpose of expanding and upgrading the May Dugan Center facility from the District 7 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Mr. President, this is a multi-purpose community service center, a nonprofit building for over 50 years in the West Side community. ARPA dollars will go toward their capital campaign to finish renovations that haven't been done for over 50 years. So I ask for support.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. The resolution is adopted.
Resolution 2023-0170, awarding a total sum not to exceed $75,000 to Front Steps Housing and Services for the electronic health record to support housing stability and behavioral health services to prevent homelessness program from the District 7 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
Move to adopt.
Second.
This resolution speaks for itself, so I ask for your support.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Resolution 2023-0171, awarding a total sum not to exceed $50,000 to the Legal Aid Society of Cleveland for the Community Recovery from COVID-19 One-Time Capital Investment for Legal Aid Project from the District 7 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
Move to adopt.
Second.
This project, Council President, is self-explanatory, and we've always been good partners with the Legal Aid Society of Cleveland, assisting veterans with being able to have legal representation. Thank you.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Resolution 2023-0172, awarding a total sum not to exceed $50,000 to the West Side Community House for the West Side Community House 2023 Strategic Plan from the District 7 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Self-explanatory, this organization needs a strategic plan to know what direction that they're going in. We know funding and resources tend to go up or down, and so this is a community center that services the west side of Cleveland, and I ask for your support.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it.
And Councilmember Conwell, if you could speak a little louder into the microphone, that would be greatly appreciated.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Resolution 2023-0174, awarding a total sum not to exceed $20,000 to the Community of Hope for the Hope Program from the District 7 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
Move to adopt.
Second, Simon.
All right, this is something that I stumbled upon. We also, Health and Human Services has a contract with this Community of Hope. They give back to between 18 and 30-year-olds that have aged out of the system when they need additional resources and support due to their traumatic childhood. So I ask for your support.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. The resolution is adopted.
Resolution 2023-0175, awarding a total sum not to exceed $50,000 to the St. Clair Superior Development Corporation for the St. Clair Superior Wayfinding Plan and Sign Design Program from the District 7 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
Move to adopt. This is
I'm sorry, I didn't hear who seconded.
Councilman Tuma?
Second.
I think it was Tuma.
Thank you.
Tuma.
Mr. President, this is resolution speaks for itself, and I ask for your support.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Resolution 2023-0176, awarding a total sum not to exceed $30,000 to the Building and Leveraging Opportunities Foundation for the project Fresh Start, Empowering Families Through Home Ownership from the District 9 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Mr. President, this is a project that is a model for what we hope will happen all across the county. Several of us met, including yourself, one Saturday a week ago, and met with the prototype of like a dream team. Everyone from a minority contractor and architect to two brothers who have gotten into HDTV, and are basically showing folks how to rehab houses. This will move to a family that are now participants in Laura's Home. So we're looking at ways to work with every party from the land bank to architects to make sure that we find more affordable housing for families all across Cuyahoga County. Thank you, Mr. Chair, for your support.
Thank you. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Legislation introduced by executive. Consideration of resolutions for first reading adoption under suspension of rules. Can I have a motion to suspend Rule 9D and 12A?
Mr. President, I move to suspend those rules.
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Resolution 2023-0205, amending the 2022-2023 biennial operating budget for 2023 by providing for additional fiscal appropriations, appropriation transfers, and cash transfers.
Move to adopt.
Second, Schron.
Move to amend. Thank you. Mr. President and my colleagues, my amendment is a very simple technical correction. It would read that in Section 5, we would delete the word June and substitute the word September. And the purpose would be to correct that the prorated subsidy payments to Metro Health run through September and not June. So I would add, and I would also mention the director of OBM supports the amendment, and I would ask for my colleague's support.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
And Mr. President, my colleagues, on the main motion, this is the regular fiscal agenda of budget amendments. Answers to your questions to OBM are on your desks. Most items are routine, but 2 items are notable. The first is that the resolution appropriates $8,118,000 for the Metro Health subsidies for the 3rd quarter and authorizes 3 prorated monthly cash transfers running through September as now amended. And secondly, the resolution appropriates $1.5 million for this year's Community Development Supplemental Grant Program. And I recommend passage on first reading suspension as amended.
All right, all those in favor of adopting the resolution, again under first reading suspension, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Resolution 2023-0206, approving a proposed settlement in the matter of Jasper, Muldrow, etc. versus Cuyahoga County et al. United States District Court for the Northern District of Ohio, Eastern Division, case number 120 CV 02539.
Move to adopt.
Been properly moved in second. This item was previously discussed in executive session, and I do ask for my colleagues' support. So all those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Ayes have it.
Resolution 2023-0207, extending the appointment of Lisa Rocco as interim treasurer to February 10th, 2024.
Second.
Properly moved and seconded.
May I have a clarification of who
It was
seconded?
moved
please?
by Councilwoman Conwell and seconded by Councilman Scott Tuma.
Thank you.
All right. Is there any discussion? Is there someone from the administration?
Crazy day.
Good evening, Mike Chambers, Fiscal Officer. We're here just asking to extend this on behalf of the administration. Lisa has been interim so far. Unfortunately, we're right in the middle of a collection. We're just trying to wrap that up and then, proceed after the collection closes full steam to try and, find a permanent position. So we're asking for your consideration to extend this.
All right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Consideration of resolutions for first reading and referral to committee.
Resolution 2023-0208, confirming the county executive's appointment and reappointments of various individuals to serve on the Cuyahoga Regional HIV Health Services Planning Council for various terms. For the appointments for the term August 1st, 2023 through July 31st, 2026, we have Anthony Thomas, Daytona Harris, and Elizabeth Aquiriano. And for one reappointment, we have for the term October 28th, 2023 through July 31st, 2026, we have Leander Levitt.
And this item will be referred to the Human Resources, Equity, and Appointments and Equity Committee.
Resolution 2023-0209, declaring that public convenience and welfare requires the resurfacing of Snow Road from Ridge Road to State Road in the city of Parma at a total estimated project cost of $2,429,196.
This item will be referred to the Public Works, Procurement, and Contracting Committee.
Resolution 2023-0210, approving right-of-way exhibits as set forth in plat number M5052 for rehabilitation of North Marginal Road connector from East 9th Street to East 55th Street in the city of Cleveland.
This item will be referred to the Public Works, Procurement, and Contracting Committee.
Resolution 2023-0211, fixing the 2024 water, storm, and sanitary maintenance and/or sewerage treatment rates for the county sewer district numbers 1, 1A, 2, 3, 5, 8, 9, 13, 14, 18, 20, 21, 22, and 24, in accordance with Ohio Revised Code, Section 6117.02.
This item will be referred to the Public Works, Procurement, and Contracting Committee.
Resolution 2023-0212, approving and confirming the 2024 water, storm, and sanitary sewer maintenance and/or sewerage treatment assessments for county sewer district numbers, again, 1, 1A, 2, 3, 5, 8, 9, 13, 14, 18, 20, 21, 22, and 24, in accordance with Ohio Revised Code, Section 6117.02.
This item will be referred to the Public Works, Procurement, and Contracting Committee.
Resolution 2023-0213, making an award on requisition 12725 with Specialized Construction Incorporated in an amount not to exceed $1,082,130.86 for asphalt resurface preservation, crack sealing, and striping for 2023 countywide preventive maintenance program.
This item will be referred to the Public Works, Procurement, and Contracting Committee.
Resolution 2023-0214, making awards on requisition 12381 with various engineering firms in the total amount not to exceed $1,350,000 for general engineering services commencing upon contract signature of all parties for a period of 3 years for the following vendors: Crawford, Murphy, and Tilley, Chagrin Valley Engineering Ltd., and the Manick and Smith Group, Inc.
This item will be referred to the Public Works, Procurement, and Contracting Committee.
Resolution 2023-0215, making an award on requisition 12731 with R.L. Hill Management, Inc., in the amount not to exceed $2,155,521 for construction of a multipurpose room addition at the Cuyahoga County Animal Shelter.
This item will be referred to the Public Works, Procurement, and Contracting Committee.
Resolution 2023-0216, authorizing an amendment to a contract with Trinity Services Group, Inc. for jail food services for the Cuyahoga County Jail System for the period June 15th, 2020 through June 14th, 2023, to extend the time period to September 30th, 2023, and for additional funds in the amount of $936,886 for a total not to exceed amount of $9,863,545.
This item will be referred to the Public Safety and Justice Affairs Committee.
Resolution 2023-0217, authorizing an amendment with various providers for real estate appraisal services in connection with the sheriff's sale for the period September 1st, 2017 through August 31st, 2021, to extend the time period to August 31st, 2026, and to modify various terms effective upon contract signature of all parties for the appraisers A through U as listed on the agenda.
This item will be referred to the Public Safety and Justice Affairs Committee.
Resolution 2023-0218, authorizing an amendment to a master contract with various providers for emergency assistance services for the period September 1st, 2021 through August 31st, 2023, to extend the time period to August 31st, 2024, and for additional funds in the amount not to exceed $1,575,000 for the vendors listed on the agenda as A through E.
This item will be referred to the Health, Human Services, and Aging Committee.
Resolution 2023-0219, authorizing an amendment with various providers for permanent supportive housing services to chronically homeless single adults and high-barrier homeless persons for the period July 1st, 2021 through June 30th, 2023, to extend the time period to June 30th, 2024, and for additional funds in the amount not to exceed $2 million for the vendors A through G as listed on the agenda.
This item will be referred to the Health, Human Services, and Aging Committee.
And at this time, I would like the record to reflect that item C, contract number 1605 with Front Steps Housing and Services, Inc., in the amount not to exceed $334,538. Mr. Chuma is recusing himself.
Actually, that's incorrect. It's D.
Oh, okay. D.
It's the Mental Health Services, Homeless Persons, DBA Frontline Services.
Okay.
Recusing from that. Thank you.
Thank you. Duly noted and corrected. Resolution 2023-0220, authorizing an amendment to a contract with Lutheran Metropolitan Ministry for operations and case management services for a 400-bed men's emergency shelter located at 2100 Lakeside Avenue, Cleveland, for the facilitation and coordination of overflow shelter services for single adults and families at various locations for the period January 1st, 2023 through August 19th, 2023, to extend the time period to December 31st, 2023, and for additional funds in the amount not to exceed $1,575,000.
This item will be referred to the Health, Human Services, and Aging Committee.
Resolution 2023-0221, authorizing the county executive to accept dedication of land for Daisy Lane in the Sanctuary of Olmsted and the Preserve of Olmsted subdivision, the Sanctuary and Preserve subdivision, Phase 3, located in Olmsted Township as a public street, along with established setback lines, rights of ways and easements, 1.39 total acres, and authorizing the county executive to accept the dedication of easements for public utilities, facilities, and appurtenances with the Sanctuary and Preserve Subdivision Phase 3 to public use granted to the Olmsted Township and its corporate successors.
This item will be referred to the Public Works, Procurement, and Contracting Committee. Committee reports and consideration of resolutions for second reading.
Resolution 2023-0180, confirming the county executive's appointment of Kelly Lynn Woodard upon her taking the oath of office as Director of Communications.
And this item will move to the August 1st council agenda for consideration for third reading adoption.
Resolution 2023-0195, declaring that public convenience and welfare requires the resurfacing of West 140th Street from Puritas Avenue to Lakewood Heights Boulevard in the city of Cleveland at a total estimated project cost of $5,872,981.
This item will move to the August 1st council agenda for consideration for third reading adoption.
Resolution 2023-0196, declaring that public convenience and welfare requires the replacement of Shaft Road, bridge number 02.89 over West Creek in the city of Independence at a total estimated project cost of $2,405,600.
This item will move to the August 1st council agenda for consideration for third reading adoption.
Resolution 2023-0199, adopting the 2023 Economic Development Plan in accordance with Section 7.05 of the Cuyahoga County Charter and Section 801.01 of the Cuyahoga County Code.
This item will move to the August 1st council agenda for consideration for third reading adoption.
Resolution 2023-0200, authorizing an amendment to a master contract with various providers for the Comprehensive Case Management Employment Program, employment, education, and training services for young adults for the period April 1st, 2022 through December 31st, 2023, to change the terms effective April 1st, 2023, and for additional funds in the total amount not to exceed $829,059.
This item will move to the August 1st council agenda for consideration for third reading adoption. Committee reports and consideration of resolutions for second reading adoption under suspension of rules. Can I have a motion to suspend the rules?
Mr. President, I move to suspend the rules.
Second.
Properly moved and seconded. All those in favor of suspending the rules say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. The rules are suspended.
Resolution 2023-0133, confirming the county executive's reappointment of Deborah Rex to serve on the Division of Children and Family Services Advisory Board for the term March 1st, 2023 through February 28th, 2027.
Move to adopt. Properly moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it.
Resolution 2023-0151, amending Resolution Number 2022-0445, dated December 8th, 2022, which authorized economic development in an economic development loan in the amount not to exceed $1,700,000 to FMCFP LLC or its designee to assist with the funding project costs of a mixed-use development project located at 10300 Cedar Avenue in the city of Cleveland, to amend the terms of the loan as originally presented.
Move to adopt.
Second.
This matter was heard after having been heard by this council in the past. There was a need to readjust the loan agreements, partly because cost increases due to the inflationary costs of this project and interest costs. It became necessary to seek additional funding from City of Cleveland and a third party, and for our funds to then be reexamined. It did put some additional burdens on this project, and we had a very long and detailed discussion in committee. It did get voted out positively out of the committee. This is for a Myers project, which is connected to the City of Cleveland, inside the City of Cleveland itself, right along with the Cleveland Clinic. And there is clearly a food desert that exists in that part of the City of Cleveland. This is an impactful improvement that I know will make a major impact on the neighborhood, and I would encourage my colleagues to all support this.
Mr. Chair, or Mr. President?
Yes.
As a sitting member of that committee, I wanted to articulate the discussion that we had, that the chair didn't raise the issue that was concerning to me and other members on the committee as well, despite the vote out. I want to point out that this loan agreement had shifted from December until now, putting the county in a weaker position in terms of the security we have. But what was concerning to me was that both two members of our loan committee in writing stated that, you know, the work that they do is being compromised because there was somehow a bypass of that loan committee to review a material change in the loan structure. Specifically, we had a shared second security interest, and through the course of these months, it was reduced to a fourth, and even one attempt that we have no security. So I just want to point out that the loan committee itself, the chair and vice chair, expressed concern about the process and us going around them when a material change impacting the security of the county was set forth. So I just wanted to state that there was discussion, and that was the issue, was the committee and putting the county in a weaker position. And I'm not going to get into the detail we did during that committee meeting. I was uncomfortable. I voted no in the committee. But my colleagues feel strongly about the project. I will probably vote for it, but understanding that we may not get paid back the 1.7.
Well, because you put your vote on the record, the vote was a 3-to-1 vote, and so it did get carried forward. Yes, there was a long, detailed discussion about it, which I thought was very very good, very constructive, and fortunately, the project is going to go forward, I believe, as a result of Cuyahoga County, the city of Cleveland, put additional funds in, and they are in the exact same position. The legal term, pari passu, is what the county is in. So we are in the exact same status as the city of Cleveland with their new money, exact same status as the third-party investor, and the exact same status with the county. So I would encourage all my colleagues to support this because it is so critical to this part of our city. Thank you.
Mr. President, just want to state that it does weaken us from the original, the original legislation that we passed out of committee in December. We're considerably weaker, although that was debated during the committee. But we're weaker. But it's a question of balancing the risk and the project. That's really what it boils down to.
Councilwoman Simon, you mentioned a committee. Was that the CIC committee?
The CCIC committee, yes, they met the day of our committee meeting at the last minute and had to scurry and give their support to this. And I can say that there was 4 votes in favor of the material change, but those were members, they were members only of the administration. There were 3 abstentions, 2 because they invested in the project, and 1 was unclear why. But the concern came in writing from the boards, the loan committee's chair and vice chair about the process, and that was the concern of how this went down during the last couple months.
And Council President, because you asked about whether the loan committee, there was not a single no vote on the loan committee. So let's make sure there was only positive votes, so of the votes that the people took forward and took their vote, every single vote was positive. There was not a single negative vote.
So
there were people abstained, but abstention, if you're going to abstain, either put your vote on the record or don't put your vote on the record.
Okay.
I don't think you put it in the form of a note afterwards.
So it sounded like CCIC had maybe a special meeting, but they did weigh in on this project before your committee meeting.
That's correct.
Yes,
they weighed in that morning.
That morning.
Yeah.
Okay. 4 positive, 3 abstentions, 4 positive from the administration.
Okay.
Okay.
Mr. President.
Any further comments or yes?
Aim at it.
Councilwoman? Yeah. Councilwoman Simon just said I'm sorry. Oh, sorry.
No, I just wanted my name added.
You want her name
Yes.
added? Gotcha. You can add my name as well, Sweeney.
Mr. Chairman, you can add my name as well.
This project is not in my district, but it is in my neighborhood. And there certainly is a food desert. I look forward to visiting this new establishment. So please add my name as well. Okay.
And I just want clarification for Councilmember Simon on your vote.
I didn't, did we?
We haven't
We haven't voted
We're not
yet.
taking a vote. And we can do a roll call.
We didn't vote yet.
We did not. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And opposed?
I'm going to vote for it, aye.
Okay.
Aye.
I just didn't like the process.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
And I'll go on the record, I wasn't thrilled about the process either. The project was great. The project is excellent. The project is necessary.
Mr. President, I wasn't thrilled with the process either.
So, Mr. President, might I recommend that those of us on the Economic Development Committee talk with the Economic Development Director about cleaning up the process?
Thank you. And I'm envisioning legislation around this as well. Some guardrails.
All right, sounds good. All right, Madam Clerk, if you would read our next item into the record.
Resolution 2023-0197, declaring that public convenience and welfare requires the rehabilitation of North Marginal Road connector from East 9th Street to East 55th Street in the city of Cleveland at a total estimated project cost of $12,084,048.
Motion to adopt. Mr. President, on July 12th, 2023, Ms. Nicole English and Mr. Trevor Hunt of Public Works came before the Public Works Committee to discuss this issue. Money is coming from the Mandel Foundation to pay for the city/Metro Park portion of this project, and this is the first piece of legislation regarding the project. R 2023-0210 was introduced earlier today to further move this project forward, and it's a joint endeavor between the City of Cleveland, Metro Parks, and federal government and the county, and the work will commence in 2024, and it's hoped that the bids for the actual paving work will be issued later this year. In addition to the road work, there will be a trial portion included to assist the numerous pedestrians, trail portion, included to assist the numerous pedestrians and joggers that use this stretch of the roadway. So it's a true community project, and it's one of connectivity, and I would ask for my colleagues' support on this.
All right,
legislation.
all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it, the resolution is adopted.
Resolution 2023-0198, making an award on requisition 12514 to the Rulin Company in the amount not to exceed $4,425,425.50 for replacement of the West 130th Street Bridge, number 0226, over the East Branch of the Rocky River in the cities of North Royalton and Strongsville.
Motion to adopt.
Second, Sweeney.
Thank you. And Mr. President, with respect to this ordinance here, there was only one bid, but the county is currently doing several bridges, and most contractors could only handle one bridge project at a time due to the nature of the bridge projects. Many are in between projects. There are some vendors that are too small or too large for this particular bridge, but it will not be closed during the construction period. And after discussing this pretty thoroughly in committee meeting, we decided that it's important to move forward with this piece of legislation.
All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Ayes have it.
Resolution 2023-0201, authorizing an amendment to an agreement with the Metro Health System for comprehensive medical services for families involved with the Division of Children and Family Services for the period January 1st, 2023 through December 31st, 2023 for additional funds in the amount not to exceed $1,038,459.52.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Mr. President, this was fully vetted in Health and Human Services Committee. This is a needed service. The Metro Health is the one that has previously bid for this contract. It helps with the medical services, dental, and eye care for the children that are in our care. So I ask for the committee's support.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it, the resolution is adopted.
Resolution 2023-0202, making awards on requisition 11388 to various appraisers in the total amount not to exceed $2,548,538 for various real estate review and appraisal services in connection with the 2024 sexennial reappraisal effective upon signature of all parties through December 31st, 2024 for the appraisers A through double K.
Move to adopt. Mr. President, my colleagues, this resolution approves a master contract with 37 appraisers for a total of $2,548,538 from now through December 31st, 2024 for property appraisal work in support of next year's sexennial property tax reappraisal to assure that the process is completed in time to allow property owners to make informal appeals prior to their values being finalized. I recommend passage on second reading suspension.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Excuse me, Council President Jones, if you could turn to page 22.
I am flipping. Anyone else feel good about just flipping these pages? Yeah. All right. Consideration of resolutions for third reading adoption.
Resolution 2023-0179, confirming the county executive's appointment of Harold A. Patel upon his taking the oath of office as sheriff of Cuyahoga County for the remainder of the unexpired 4-year term ending December 31st, 2024.
Move to adopt.
Second, Schron.
All right.
Drum roll, please.
All those in favor?
Vote.
All those in favor?
Yes, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Now he's
It's a
official.
formality. Now it's official. Okay.
Do you want your family to come up with you or no?
Yes.
Yes.
Bring the family, surround them all up. This is a big day.
A nice photo op. Big moment.
Pursuant to Section 1.07 of the Cuyahoga County Code, it's my honor and privilege to swear in Harold A. Patel as sheriff under Article 16 of our charter. First, Mr. Patel, would you like to introduce your family and others you've asked to stand by you at this moment?
Yes, my wife Alicia, my sons Harrison and Nathan, my mother-in-law, my father-in-law, and my two sister-in-laws.
Excellent. And I understand Chaplain Skaggs, do you have some words for us at this moment?
And also all of my friends and supporters from the Cleveland Police. Please stand, who helped me last many, many years here in the Cleveland Police to our successful. So please stand so everyone can recognize you guys.
All right.
Chaplain Skaggs.
I've known Harold for many years, more than working on our second decade together. I knew him as a top of his class Marine. Came in and he was top of his class.
Is the microphone on?
I'm sorry. Maybe I'm.
Yeah, just hold it closer.
All right. He was top of his class. He was a Marine. He came in. He was top of his class. He went on and he worked at the airport, and then he went on and he works with the interdepartmental agencies throughout the state and the city and the federal government. And he's done a great job. He considers his family, and he considers the people he serves, which is very important, that he considers those who he serves as people who he serves, not as who serve him. And he's always been that way. He gives a second thought to his movements, and that's a great thing when you're in policing. And if I could, I'd like to say a short prayer to start his time here with the, it's hard for me not to call him chief. Now I have to call him sheriff from now on. If you please bow your heads and put your hands together. Dear Lord, we bring this man to you as a servant. He is a servant to your people, Lord, not just the people of this county, but the people of this whole world. He protects them and he serves them. He understands their plight. He understands that he needs to do his best job to serve you, Lord. Let him serve you in this capacity, and let him serve you for a lifetime in this capacity. Amen. Amen.
Thank you. And now, for the oath, Mr. Patel, who would you like to hold the Bible? Why don't we face this direction? Kindly place your left hand on the Bible, raise your right hand, and repeat after me. I, Harold A. Patel,
I, Harold A. Patel,
do solemnly swear that I will support, uphold, and defend
the
Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
and the Charter and laws
and the Charter and laws
of the County of Cuyahoga, Ohio.
of the County of Cuyahoga, Ohio.
That I will faithfully, honestly, diligently, and impartially perform and discharge all of the powers and duties incumbent upon me as sheriff in and for the County of Cuyahoga, State of Ohio, according to the best of my ability and understanding. So help me God. Congratulations. Yes. Mr. President?
Yeah, please. You have a few words?
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Mr. President, and members of council. First, I want to thank God for putting me in this position and allowing me to get here. Certainly want to thank Executive Ronayne and his executive team for selecting me, and certainly, Mr. President, and this council for confirming me and having the faith in me. I want to let the men and women of the Sheriff's Department who are certainly doing the hard work in all three divisions, let them know that I'm here to support them, to work with them, to build on the hard work that they've done as we build the premier law enforcement agency in the state of Ohio and beyond. That's something I want to assure them, that I know what their plight is. I understand what the duty calls for. And job one, day one, we're going to get to work on building the premier law enforcement agency. And that is going to be founded on procedural justice, integrity, and service. The citizens of this county know that they expect and deserve superior law enforcement service and certainly superior professional service. And that's something we're going to give them is professional, respectful policing. Professional, respectful policing. Thank you very much for your support.
Good job.
President?
Okay, yes.
I have a moment of personal privilege.
You can, go right ahead.
I'd like to congratulate Sheriff Patel on his new position, and I'd like to again thank Interim Sheriff Greiner for stabilizing the Sheriff's Department during the times where he was needed in between the revolving door of sheriffs we've had.
All right, let's give it up for him.
Resolution 2023-0183, declaring that public convenience and welfare requires the replacement of Sheldon Road, bridge number 01.61 over Lake Abrams Ditch in the cities of Brook Park and Middleburg Heights at a total estimated project cost of $8,700,000.
Motion to adopt. Sorry. Motion to adopt. Mr. President, with respect to this piece of legislation, this is the first step to replacing this bridge. In the upcoming months, we'll be seeing additional legislation to bid out the project and have the bridge replaced. The bridge is in very poor condition and almost 90 years old, and we'll be hoping to start the actual work in 2026. And this was presented by Nicole English back on June the 28th. So I would ask for my colleagues' support on this piece of legislation. Thank you.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. At this time, we will consider our miscellaneous committee reports.
Mr. President.
Councilman Miller.
My colleagues, the next regular time slot for Finance and Budgeting Committee on Monday, July 24th, 2004, will be used for a committee of the whole, on which there will be the first required public hearing on the proposed extension of the final 0.25% on the sales tax. Director Parfiowitz has informed me that he would be prepared to give us a preliminary report on the county's second quarter actuals. And with the support of the council president, I would also like to have that report included on the agenda for that meeting of the Committee of the Whole. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. President. Public Works will meet at its regularly scheduled time. There are 7 pieces of legislation that were presented this evening, and can't wait.
All right. All right, who's next?
HHS, same day at 1 o'clock.
All right.
There is no Community Development Committee. However, our Community Reinvestment Committee, Subcommittee of Community Development will meet on the 26th at 2 p.m.
Education Environment Wednesday at 3.
Council Operations Tuesday at 3.
Safety Tuesday at 1. And I believe, I know Councilwoman Turner is not here, but I believe there is a Human Resources and a committee meeting, again, July 25th at 10 a.m.
Are we to miscellaneous business?
And we are now at miscellaneous business.
My colleague, Councilwoman Turner, asked that I take this moment to recognize the fact that the NAACP celebrated its 111th year in Cuyahoga County. We recognize the fact that while there are courts in this land that do not recognize the need for diversity, equity, inclusion, there are a group of people who believe that we must always strive to do better in a situation where we have not always been members of the society at an equal level and footing. In addition, Councilwoman Turner was honored at the NAACP's annual event. Thank you.
Excellent. All right. I'll mention that we will have our committee of the whole meeting on July 24th, and we will address the item from earlier today and on that July 24th meeting.
It'll be a special meeting, a special council meeting as well for that item.
Special council meeting for that item. All right. Any further miscellaneous business? If not,
Should we address
nothing
this?
else holds our attention. Our meeting is now adjourned.